Welcome to the Board of Commissioners meeting on October the 29th. We are almost at November. You know, that just seems to happen so quickly. Prior to officially starting our meetings, we always invite local clergy to come and pray for us. If you're so inclined to do that, please join Pastor Jason Bowman from Solid Rock Church. Pastor, podium's yours.
Thank you, Mr. Painter. Thank you for being here, everybody. If you wouldn't mind, bow your head and pray with me. Heavenly Father, we thank you for a great day. We thank you for this great nation. Thank you for democracy. And most of all, we thank you for Jesus, who has set us free from sin and is coming back very soon. We ask, Lord, that you'd cover this nation. We know that unity is your desire, so break political division and racial tension as you surround us with love. Lord, we ask also that you would bless Clermont County. We know, Lord, that there's addiction in this county, and we pray for wisdom as we go forward to break these bonds, these strongholds, and teach us how to love our fellow man as we love ourselves. We ask now that wisdom be given to Ms. Corcoran, Mr. Painter, Ms. Batchelor. We ask in financial decisions and fiscal responsibility that you guide them to be good stewards of taxpayer dollars. But in other decisions, we pray that you would help them to be just, help them to have wisdom beyond their years. And Lord, we also pray that you would help us to seek more wisdom, for you said you would give it liberally. Surround them with faithful, creative, hardworking people as they go forward in their elected positions. For Lord, we know that you give all of us the tools that we need to accomplish our destiny. Most of all, Lord, may we all cling to mercy and truth. You said in Proverbs 3, if we do so, we'd have good understanding and favor with God and man. Thank you for your mercy, your wisdom, and direction as your kingdom comes and your will is done. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And now to officially start our meeting, we start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Corcoran, would you lead us, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. If you're wondering, she just carried me in a cell phone. I'll just be open and honest about that. Have you ever left your cell phone at home? And then you come to work and you look all over the office for it and you're just sure that you had it in your hands, right? Well, my wife has just come in through the front door there and delivered that cell phone to put it back in my hands. So I know we all do that. And it's frustrating and aggravating, but that's what it was. So we'll move on. We have had our call to order, and we'll go to letter B, approval of regular session minutes of 10/22/2025. Board, I know you've had these minutes, had the opportunity to review them. Are there any need for clarification or changes?
None.
Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve the regular session minutes of 10/22 as presented.
I'll make the motion. I will second.
It's been moved and second. Roll call, Gail.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran? Commissioner Painter?
Yes. Item C is a proclamation this morning, a designation of November 10th through the 14th as Veterans Awareness Week in Clermont County. So we will get that one started right now. Veterans Awareness Week, accepting the proclamation. Steve Belko was supposed to be here today, but I understand he is out, has some things to do. Mike Mylan and Rodney Henry, are you here from the? Yeah, come on up. Come on up.
Good
Good to have you this morning. How are you, sir? Good to see you.
Good, sir.
Proclamation, Veterans Awareness Week in Clermont County, Ohio, November 10th through the 14th. Whereas the Board of County Commissioners proclaims the week of November 10th through November 14th as Veterans Awareness Week to celebrate and honor the patriots who fought to protect the democratic ideas that are the foundation of our country. Whereas we as Americans owe a great debt of those who have sacrificed to our liberty and for the security of our nation. We should express deep appreciation to our veterans, the men and women who stepped forward when America and the world needed them. And I would say, and those that are needed today. and triumphed over brutal enemies, faced hardships, liberated continents, and answered the prayers of millions around the globe. And whereas through their commitment to freedom, Americans' veterans have uplifted the lives of millions and made our country and the world more secure, they have demonstrated to us that freedom is the mightiest force on earth. We resolve that their sacrifices will always be remembered by a grateful nation. And whereas we encourage our veterans to speak about their experiences so that the memories may be preserved for future generations, and further encourage citizens to participate in patriotic activities within their communities, we call on these citizens of Clermont County to observe this week and remember all who answered the call. We now therefore be proclaimed that we, the Board of Clermont County Commissioners, do hereby proclaim the week of November 10th through the 14th as Veterans Awareness Week in Clermont County. We encourage all citizens to recognize the valor and the sacrifice of all our veterans through ceremonies and prayers. And it's signed by the President of the Clermont County Board of Commissioners, David Painter, Vice President Commissioner Batchelor, and Member Commissioner Corcoran. On behalf of the Board of Clermont County Commissioners, I would like that you would accept this proclamation for Veterans Awareness Week. We are very proud of it.
Get them green porch lights on like Mr. Painter said.
We will. We're talking about that.
Thank you so much.
You have a few things you want to say?
Well, no, just on behalf of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, we appreciate this very much. And of course, all the support that the veterans get here in Clermont County and in the state of Ohio. We do have a lot of veterans here in the state of Ohio. We have 44,000 members in the Veterans of Foreign Wars and 291 posts. And yeah, we appreciate this very much. Thank you.
And you might as well just stay right here because
Okay.
I'm going to have another one for you. And this one takes a little informing so they know. Obviously, we are proud of all our veterans. We're also proud of those who are in the uniform of the United States Armed Forces who are on watch today. This one is for our same gentleman here. And this one is Operation Green Light for Veterans, a proclamation, Operation Green Light. Whereas the residents of Clermont County have great respect, admiration, and the utmost gratitude for all the men and women who have selflessly served our country and this community in the armed forces. And whereas the contributions and sacrifices of men and women who served in those armed forces have been vital in maintaining the freedoms and the way of life enjoyed by our citizens today. Whereas Clermont County seeks to honor these individuals who have paid the high price of freedom by placing themselves in harm's way for the good of all. And whereas veterans continue to serve our community in the American Legion, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, religious groups, civil service, and by functioning as county veteran service officers in 29 states to help fellow former service members across more than $52 billion in federal health, disability, and compensation benefits every year. If you didn't know, Operation Greenlight is about making sure that veterans who have earned those services and rights for benefits know how to contact the VSO for the benefits. Keep in mind, many veterans say, I served for my benefit. They served for all of our benefits, but they deserve these benefits. They paid a high price for them. So we want to make sure that they have access to them. Whereas approximately 200,000 service members transition to civilian communities annually, whereas an estimated 20% increase of service members will transition to civilian life in the near future. And whereas studies indicate that 44% to 72% of service members experience high levels of stress from the transition from military service to civilian life. Whereas active military service members transitioning from military service are at a high risk for suicide during the first year after their military service. Whereas Clermont County appreciates the sacrifices of our United States military personnel and believes specific recognition should be granted. Let it be resolved. With the designation as Green Light for Veterans, Clermont County hereby declares November 4th through the 11th, 2025, a time to salute and honor the service and sacrifice of our men and women in uniform transitioning from active service. Therefore, let it be resolved that in observance of Operation Greenlight, Clermont County encourages its citizens in patriotic tradition to recognize the importance of honoring all those who made immeasurable sacrifices to preserve freedom by displaying a green light in the window of their place of residence. And this proclamation is signed by David Painter, President, Commissioner Bonnie Batchelor, Vice President, and Commissioner Claire Corcoran, member of the Board of Clermont County Commissioners. Green light is one of those things that was instituted by a high military official in New York and carried to the National Association of Counties. We will light the buildings up here in Clermont County during this week, and we invite all of you at home. If you do not have green lights, Home Depot and Amazon can provide you some green lights so you can swap out the ones at your house. We swap them out at my house every year. Gentlemen, on behalf of the Clermont County Board of Commissioners, we will observe that green light tradition.
We're trying to steal your
You bet. No, you got it.
Thanks so much.
We'd like to take a picture.
How about everybody come?
You bet, yeah.
Come on up.
If you're here in more than this, come on up.
Good idea.
Shall we open the?
No. Let me jump in here somewhere. I was gonna say that too, tell you the truth.
Up here, and we're on 3, 2, 1, and 1 more.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks for doing it.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Folks, we have some veterans in the room. You guys are getting ready to leave, right? I'd ask that you stand in their honor. Thank you. Always good to recognize veterans.
Absolutely.
We will move on with our regular agenda. We are at D, a presentation. Stacey, Reid, Shelter Client Services, Greater Cincinnati Young Women's Christian Association, YWCA, House of Peace is here. We're glad to hear from you.
Thank
Morning.
you so much for the opportunity. We are so thankful for the ongoing partnership that we have with Clermont County through House of Peace and the YWCA Greater Cincinnati. So I'm just here to share on behalf of our shelter services and our agency as a whole. Jennifer, thank you for partnering with me today and being present for our collaborative efforts. So this month is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. October is. However, within the YWCA Shelter Services and our collaboration with Clermont, we focus on domestic violence awareness and advocacy 365 days in the year, 24/7 within our shelter services and within our agency mission and efforts within the community as well. So I just wanted to share just some information about domestic violence, so domestic violence in general, as well as some of the highlights that are going on at what we call HOP, or House of Peace, but we call it HOP for short. So when you hear that acronym, that is what the reference is to. But just different types of DV, just for some educational purposes, awareness purposes, and also to assist with maintaining the advocacy and the support and the equity that we hope is available for all that may experience domestic violence in some way, shape, or form. So some people will assume that domestic violence only shows up through physical abuse. But that is not indeed the case. It comes in the form of sexual abuse, emotional abuse, economic abuse or financial abuse, psychological abuse, as well as technological abuse. So we've seen a increase in with the increase in our technology and some of those, the social media and some of those things that people are either getting stalked or tracked through technology to keep the power and control efforts in place. And so those are the things that we have also increasingly had to be charged with, assisting our survivors and families with supportive services and collaborations like we have with Clermont County allow us to assist in that way through simple things like track phones, which to us and having our cell phones may feel very much like, no big deal, easy to access, easy to have. However, sometimes for our survivors and our families, they may come in with their own cell phone, but that cell phone is attached to their perpetrator in the sense that they may share a plan. And so there's ability to track that way, to maybe cut off the service, to attempt to, again, manipulate them back into the abusive situation. And so we have been able to, through support from our collaboration with Clermont County and other funding sources, been able to provide track phones so that they can have that separation and feel some sense of security and self-sufficiency to be able to truly break free and flee from that domestic violence situation. So thank you for providing us with those supportive services and funding sources and streams and collaboration to be able to provide those things. We had a survivor who was extremely, she screamed out in excitement, and we're thinking something is wrong, but she was literally in tears when she was handed her track phone, simply because of the freedom that it allowed her from that situation, because she had been going back and forth with her perpetrator, getting her phone cut off, then she get it turned back on, and back and forth with that. And so when we were able to provide her with that track phone, it was just a sigh of relief that was unexplainable to witness. And so for us, that in itself justify, this is why this is important. And so we will continue to advocate for even the what we may see as the simplest things that will help towards that self-sufficiency and sustaining it, being able to stay away from the unsafe situations. So just helping people to understand that DV does not discriminate. It doesn't respect race. It doesn't respect gender. It doesn't respect sexual orientation, socioeconomic status. It scars physically, emotionally, and mentally. And so please make sure that you're available. And these are ways that you can stand in the gap by being available to individuals that you may come in contact with that may be experiencing these situations and this level of trauma. Statistically, there is 1 in 3 females who are experiencing domestic violence. Statistically, there are 1 in 5 males who are experiencing domestic violence. So those of us in this room, somebody in this room, somebody close to us may be experiencing that right now. Maybe we know about it, maybe we don't. However, when we are trusted with that information, please be available, judge-free, and make it a safe place so that they can do their healing work. Because if they came to you, they took that risk. And they trusted that they would be able to have that safe space to have that support. So just be available for those things, and understand that we continue to be a resource. You can provide them with our hotline, and I do have cards available today, and I will leave for those. I will leave here for future reference, but please feel free to reach out to our hotline for support. We also have a chat line and a text line that is available for use in case it's not safe to make the phone call. And so you can discreetly text or send a chat, and you will have people through our hotline support and our advocate team ready to respond to those messages. And we work from a trauma-informed model, which means that, we're lessening that power and control, attempt to, get people to do something. And we're walking alongside our survivors and our families at the level that they're at, where they're ready to do their healing work and their healing journey. And so we are really very excited about the programming that we're able to provide, the community partnership that we are able to provide, the simple things like, and I say simple because to us, it may feel very simple to have a new playground in place at HOP, but to see the responses from our kids and our adults when they are able to walk out and enjoy those things on the playground and just be kids and have a break from the stressors, from the trauma that they've experienced and been impacted by, and the survivors to just be able to swing with their children or pushing down a slide and on all of those things, or run around a backyard that's safe to do, and not have to be worried about whether they're going to be impacted by a domestic violence situation, just because again they're having an enjoyable time with their children. So that is because of, again, the partnership that we have with Clermont. So again, thank you on behalf of our survivors. Thank you on behalf of YWCA for your efforts in that. I did want to share, because it was asked of us, some of the kind of highlights with the year to date, and then I'll be finished. But we have been able at HOP to shelter 174 individuals, 112 were adult survivors, and 62 were children. That was from January through October of this year. This is a 41% increase overall from 2024, where in 2024, the entire year, we were able to shelter 123 individuals and serve those individuals. Year to date, from January of this year to October of this year, HOP has received 325 domestic violence hotline calls. This is also an increase overall of last year. Last year, we had 312 calls. Year to date, we also have been able to we have unfortunately, given the high need, had to provide other shelter support or resources for survivors. So maybe not being able to come necessarily to HOP for sheltering, but maybe some other community supports and safe havens that we were able to provide or lead them to, or collaborate with those community provided for. And those were 66 survivors in that space. The impact of our collaboration, the impact of community support, the impact of what we're doing at the YWCA has allowed, from January to October, 60% of survivors have exited the program having maintained or obtained income. Where we have had many survivors that come in, and again, as I mentioned earlier, financial abuse is a huge piece to it, and so they may come in with never have been able to work outside the home, have any sort of income, know what that even looks like. So a lot of our programming, we do what we call workforce development, as well as some life skills training, things that again will assist parenting support, trauma-informed support groups and things of that sort, that provide space for that healing, not just emotionally and physically, but also to be able to establish and get to a place of independent living. and maintaining that for their family. But we also had 80% of our survivors and their children exit to permanent housing destinations, which is major increase from years before. And so we, again, understand that a lot of that is due to the collaboration that we have with our community partners, landlords, and relationships that we've built within the community with individuals, and also some of our local in the Eastgate area. A lot of the businesses over there have hired our survivors. And they continue to support our efforts. And so we, again, appreciate the collaborative efforts, and we can't say that enough. And we are hoping that that continues, again, for years to come. I have always said, and this is how this is what I'll end with, is that, I have always hoped that there would never be a need for domestic violence work. However, as long as there is, I will continue to do the work. And I know Jennifer will continue to do the work, and others within our YWCA organization will continue to do the work. I will end with, if I have the time to, a success story from one of our survivors that was approved for me to share, if that's okay.
Mhm.
So this survivor, again, was at House of Peace and came to the House of Peace with her baby boy after leaving an abusive relationship with her partner of many years, and he was the father of her child. This survivor had made multiple attempts to leave her abuser, who mentally and physically abused her, controlled her, and secluded her from her support system of family and friends. She spent years feeling defeated and broken. She was unaware of what to do and where to go. She had no idea what domestic violence shelters that domestic violence shelters even existed until she found shelter with the YWCA House of Peace. The survivor came to shelter unaware of if her abuse was really abuse. She began working with her case manager and attending program support groups, and began to understand her trauma and herself on a new level, and started her journey of recovery, and not only surviving, but thriving. Even though the survivor was going through so many things while in shelter, she remained mindful, respectful, and kind to every survivor and staff. She was a true light within our shelter. Though she was suffering from both physical and mental trauma, she remained focused on her journey of independence and self-love. While at the House of Peace, this survivor returned to work and was able to secure an amazing child care provider for her baby boy, and ended up completing our program in just 3 weeks. I'm not sure if you all know that our emergency shelter typically is a 30-day stay, and sometimes longer. Well, I'm going to say many times longer, because the extensions are needed to support that transition. So to come and be able to do this in 3 weeks is major. She left the shelter to her new beautiful home. It was a blessing, and I find myself, this is the case manager finds herself very fortunate to have been able to witness such a transformation. And the survivor and her son are going to accomplish so many wonderful things in this life. And the House of Peace staff were truly so happy that we were able to be a part of her healing journey, and even if it's just for a moment. So again, those are the things that are occurring within our shelter. That's the impact that we are having. And I say we because, again, our collaboration with you all has allowed for that to be the case. So thank you again for your time and the opportunity to share. And again, we look forward to the ongoing partnership.
Thank you, Stacey.
Thank
you.
Welcome.
We will move on with our regular scheduled agenda. We are at letter E. Letter E is public participation. Is there anyone that would like to participate from the public today? Anybody in public participation? Tell us who you are. And during this time, the board does not answer questions nor engage in debate, but they can engage if they like. No member of the public may comment about a matter that's not within the purview of the commissioner's responsibility. We're not expected to comment if it's brought to the board. Each speaker will have an opportunity to speak once. And in accordance with the rules, you have comments that are limited to 5 minutes. Tell us who you are.
My name's Jen Mazzucchelli, and I'm in Union Township. I'm sure you all miss me. I haven't been here in a while, so I know how excited you are to see me, so that's great. Before I get into why I'm here, I just want to do an addendum to the last speaker as I've mentioned before, I am a survivor of domestic violence, and the county where I lived did not have these services. So, and also because I had my ex-husband arrested, I wouldn't have been eligible anyway. And so I had to navigate all of that on my own. And it's a challenge. So it is really a benefit to the county or the counties that are served by the House of Peace, because it kind of makes the learning curve shelter. I mean, I experienced all of the things, and the economic one takes the hardest toll, because once you know, I mean, if you have ever experienced economic difficulty, once you've fallen behind, it's really, really difficult to get back. And my credit rating still hasn't improved. So anyway, I'm here today to just bring attention to what the elephant in the room, which is the healthcare situation that's going on in the country and in the county. And I've been here several times before earlier in the year, in advance of the big, beautiful bill being passed. I tried to bring attention all of the challenges that the county could face if that were passed, and how it would affect us. And many times I was just kind of thanked for my time. And finally, I was dismissed by saying, well, you haven't lost any of your benefits yet. Well, we're here. We're at the cliff, and people are on the cusp of losing benefits. And it's a hardship. You know, it'll be a hardship. Veterans services, we just had the Veterans Appreciation. In my opinion, the best way to pay tribute to our veterans is to make sure that they're cared for. And right now, the Veterans Administration is being devastated. And I don't know if you follow the Clermont Sun, but I have been hosting several demonstrations. The first No Kings protest was in June, and we had about 500 people there. I met just to bring attention to the two stories. One of the people I met was a veteran who said he'd been blown up 11 times. He walked the entire time because he didn't think that if he sat down, he'd be able to get back up. He said that it's so difficult to get veterans care through the VA. He had to get private care. I also ran into somebody else who, and this is not a political thing. This is just a domestic a domestic violence thing. She confided in me that her home was not safe, and she had to sneak out to go to the protest because her husband was, and this is a quote, ultra mega, and did not approve of their trans child. So it was not safe physically for them, and they were in the process of looking for an escape plan. My concern is, as the economic stressors build and build, because they are, we will see an increase of the domestic violence. We will see an increase of substance abuse and stuff. I brought some materials just to provide some further context, various articles to provide some additional context about the impact that the lack of Medicaid, Medicare, will have on. I tried to focus on residents of this county. And I pulled up, and this is from, I can't remember the exact name, so bear with me if I get it wrong, but the Appalachian, it's information about people in Appalachia and their health care and stuff. And this is specific to Clermont County. So up to, like, these are both 2023 and 2022 statistics. 13.3 out of 100,000 people died from flu and pneumonia. If people cannot get immediate health care, these numbers will increase. Child mortality rate in 2023 was 43.6 out of 100,000. Diabetes, which we have a significant diabetic population here, especially the ones on Medicare, 23.5 out of 100,000 deaths from diabetes. Infant mortality rate in 2022 or 3 was 7.8 out of 100,000. Drug and opioid involved overdose death rate was 41.2 out of 100,000. I'm sure you guys have all of these numbers, but it's just suicide rates. I mean, all of the things. If people cannot get immediate care, numbers are just going to grow exponentially. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, I ran out of time.
Anybody else like to address the board? Sure. Come up and tell us your name and who you are.
Good morning. My name is Susan Yucks, and I'm a retired educator and a volunteer at a large food pantry in Clermont County. And I just want to let you know that I've seen firsthand how dire of straits people are becoming in and expressing that to me. Some of them are shaking when they talk to me and saying, I never thought I would be in this position. Many are civil servants. Many are federal workers that lost their jobs through DOGE. There has been, from the previous week to last week, 2 weeks ago to last week, a 30% increase in our Clermont County neighbors coming to the food pantry in need. And that is the tip of the iceberg. Our shelves are being depleted because of the federal cuts to the food banks all over the nation. So we receive a large supply of food from the Cincinnati Free Store. So, and also because of inflation, we've seen quite a bit of drop in donations from both companies and individuals. And so our shelves are getting leaner. I also want to put out a plea here to drop food off whenever you can to food pantries that you know of, or the Clermont County Interparish Ministry Pantry, because the need is great. So I just want to express my extreme frustration, along with many others, about this BBB and how this is going to affect people's lives. We had the Reverend speak this morning and lead us in a prayer, and he talked about the most important part of being a Christian was Jesus and his teachings. And Jesus said what we have all learned in school about the golden rule: do unto others as we would have them do unto ourselves. So I just, this is a bipartisan plea here. I, yes, feel like I'm being an activist, and an activist not to diminish what these great veterans have done and sacrificed their lives as well as their mental health often, how they've served. But activists are also patriots. We are doing the same thing. The same objective is to protect democracy and protect United States citizens, our neighbors. So I want to put this forth as a bipartisan plea. It doesn't matter what party you're with. It really comes down to moral clarity. So thank you for listening. I just want to express the deep need in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
It's all right. I just didn't know if you want it back. Sorry.
It was on the bottom. Tell us who you are.
I'm Leslie Jump. I am curious with what you've heard this morning from these two speakers in particular. What is the plan in Clermont County with diminishing food resources, health resources? What's the plan from our commissioners?
And here's what I'll say about that. Like I said, we don't usually comment on those matters, and it's public participation. We're going to have a presentation. Well, we're going to have a presentation here right after this from our DJS folks and about SNAP and about the impacts that have been to that cut program. So we'll talk about that then.
So you have a plan?
We do not have a plan. We have the same plan everybody else does in this country. It is frightening, no question. No one ever thought that they would shut the government down and they would, they would not fund these programs. As you know, the legislation cannot come to an agreement here. They've voted on it 13 times.
I know.
Commissioners don't vote at the federal level. So we have to come up with a plan and a survive call to order here through, the avenues that we have to reach out.
So
So
you've got a plan to make a plan.
we do.
All right, we're going to trust you on that for a short time.
Absolutely. Thank you. Anyone else from public participation? I'll close public participation and I will go down to county staff elected officials. Dorothy Myers here, Director of Clermont County Job and Family Services, to talk about SNAP. Not to put you on the spot.
That's where we need to be. This is what we do. Yes, if you can post it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
These are the individuals that we serve as part of this county, and we want to make sure that we keep everybody educated in regards to what is happening and what we're trying to do and what we're hopeful that we can do in the future. Just to introduce myself, Dottie Meyer from the Department of Job and Family Services. I'm the Director of Job and Family Services, and with me today is just is the team that's taking the lead in regards to addressing this community education and community activism in regards to the SNAP issues that we're here having right now. We have with me, this is Daphne Reid. She is the Assistant Director who's in charge of our Public Assistance Program. And you've known Daphne long enough to know that when she came into my office this morning, she had the folders already ready when she came in. Also, we have Paige Sheridan, who is the Program Administrator for our Ohio Means Job Workforce, who is working collaboratively with our Public Assistance Department to address some of these concerns and to do some community outreach to see if we can get to educate and reach as many people as we can in the county. Also with me is Tim Dick, who is the Assistant Director over our Fiscal Department. Through his conservative guidance for the Department of Job and Family Services, we're going to be able to keep the lights on for quite a while beyond. So that's really important, and it's important for the county to know that we're being conservative for these types of situations where we don't know what's going to happen from day to day. So let's just talk about first, and I know that this is never a good thing to give me electronic equipment. But we're going to talk a little bit about what we are hearing in the news, and that's about the SNAP lack of funding for the benefits that are coming out as a result of the government shutdown. So let's first talk about what is SNAP and how does the shutdown affect the SNAP program. So let's first talk about what do we mean by government shutdown. Basically, what it is that we had the federal government was unable to reach an agreement on funding legislation and come up with a budget to be able to fund the federal programs and services. Therefore, on October the 1st of 2025, there was a federal shutdown. Now, not all services were stopped, but many services were affected. The SNAP program, SNAP stands for Supplemental Nutrition Assistant Program, and it provides food assistance to low-income individuals and families to help them afford nutritious food. The funding for the SNAP program, it's a federal program that is funded through the United States Department of Agriculture, and the bulk of the funds is used for benefits, but also for administrative costs, because obviously we have to take the applications, we have to process the applications. So there's administrative costs also that are funded through the Department of Agriculture and flow through the federal government. Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services Public Assistance is who processes those applications for those that are seeking the SNAP benefits. Now, after someone applies for and is approved for SNAP benefits, they then receive their funds through a SNAP benefit card. And then they're able, there's a direct deposit. It's almost like the cards we have that are linked to our checking accounts or our bank accounts. They load it onto that card, and then they're able to take that to different providers throughout the county to be able to get the nutritious food for their families. where we stand right now is that the October funding did go through. Even though the government shutdown was on October the 1st of 2025, they funded all of the SNAP benefits for October of 2025. However, where we are right now, we received notice that the November benefits that are due to be loaded on November the 1st are not going to be loaded. There has been the funding has depleted amid this shutdown, and therefore no benefit money is going to be loaded onto those cards. What does that mean for us and the individuals in our county who receive SNAP benefits? Eligible SNAP benefits, eligible recipients are not going to be receiving that direct deposit to their account on November 1st. Now, we have tried to get the word out. There has been notification from the federal programs. There's been messages that have been sent to the accounts for individuals. However, what we are concerned about is that individuals have not been paying attention to those messages that come to them. And we are concerned that the first that they realize that they're not going to have money on that card is when they're in the checkout line. They have their cart full of food for their families. They go to pay and it's declined. And then they're going to be caught completely and totally unawares, and they won't know how they're going to be able to feed their families for this month. So who in Clermont County is impacted? It's important for us as a community to understand the sheer numbers that this is going to impact. We have over 14,000, almost 15,000 recipients of SNAP benefits here in Clermont County. That's over 8,700 adults and over 6,200 children who's going to be affected. Another community that is affected that people don't really necessarily think about are the local business owners that also are going to be impacted greatly because they count on customers being able to come in, buy food. And unfortunately, there's about $2.7 million per month that is going to be taken out of the economy for those local business owners. When people ask how long will this last, the answer is we don't know. And this really goes back to your comment, Commissioner Painter, is that, we are not in control of these decisions. We're not in control of this money flow. So we're kind of left to address the issues as they're presented to us and try to mitigate the damage as much as we can. And also try to put into place some proactive, and that's where my team is coming in. They have been talking about this, trying to put plans in place to be able to notify individuals and educate them on where they can go for resources in anticipation of this happening on November the 1st. So where are we now? So Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services specifically, we remain open. We are still administering these programs. Our public assistance division is remaining open. We will continue to process applications. We will continue to take recertifications. We will continue to make changes on cases. This is going to enable the clients that when the funding does come back in, that they don't have a break in services. So we encourage people to still call, still file, still fill out those applications, because we don't want to be at the end when the federal government opens back up, funding comes back in, and they haven't even started the process yet. So we are going to do that. We will continue to do that as long as administrative costs are covered and that we're receiving funding in regards to that. So we do not have any anticipation in regards to that. We don't have any. They haven't said anything to us in regards to, hey, we're not going to give you administrative funding anymore. So at this point, we're moving full speed ahead in regards to how we handle the administration of the SNAP. We also have on our website, and they have been doing this, they have been, Daphne and Paige and her teams have been very good about keeping frequently asked questions, basic information on the website in regards to, hey, this is what we're hearing about the SNAP benefits. This is what we foresee. They have been counseling clients consistently on We don't know what's going to happen in November. So if there's a possibility of conserving some of your funds that you have on the card, please do that, because we don't know what's going to happen. And that's something that's really important to know, is that the funds that are on the cards now that have not been spent, you can still spend them. They are the clients to spend. So if they still have money on their card, that's not something that's going to be taken away from them. That's already theirs. We also have phone lines to where individuals can reach out to Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services. Our main number is the 732-7111, and we have a customer care line as well. That's 1-844-640-6446. My eyes are not what they used to be. And, we encourage people to call and ask questions, and, be patient. There might be a little bit of a wait, because we have a lot of people calling in, but we are getting to people very quickly, and we're able to mitigate the wait time in regards to those. Now let's talk about Clermont County in general, about the overview in Clermont County. Obviously, there is a 211. That's yes.
Just before you proceed on
Yes.
that, I just wanted to make sure for folks who are here
Mhm.
that the SNAP benefits program is strictly a federally organized program, in that you don't really receive money through that federal program. You actually upload the actual charges to that particular program and then are reimbursed for it. Is that kind of how that works?
All we do is process the applications, and we determine whether or not to see if they're eligible. That goes into the system, and then it's actually the federal government that then uploads the money to that. It's not even something that comes into
And
our coffers.
That comes directly from the federal treasury.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're not taking our cut
Right.
first.
That's-
That's really the issue, right?
That's one
I mean,
that's one I wanted
Right.
to, so people make sure that that's not the case.
right. Right.
Yeah. I don't
not-
want,
I'm
I
not
don't want
choosing my
anybody,
employment
I don't
for
want
the
anybody
semester.
confused
Yes.
that there's some large federal, electronic transfer of these funds that's sitting down in the treasurer's office. That's not the case.
No.
Okay.
No. Do you have anything that you want to say in regards to that specific, Daphne? Okay. All right. So, in Clermont County specifically, we have the 211, obviously, that's available for all of our areas. That's through the United Way resource line. What people need to understand is that is a resource line that's not just for Clermont County. It's for the entire area. So you're going to get resources that are not just Clermont County, but for the region. And they also have resources that's more than just food as well through that resource line. Now, the county website, and Ursula, Miss Miller, if you want to come up as well, please. So Ursula Miller has been collaborating with our team in regards to getting the word out to the community. And Ursula is helping us with uploading information onto the Clermont County website to get links for individuals, specifically in regards to the SNAP defunding at this point. I don't even know what else to call it. The lack of funding for the SNAP program. And the links that are going to be provided on the website, and if you have anything to add, please do so. Local food pantries are going to be on there. There's a one-pager that is just local food pantries. We also have a multiple page listing that has been created by our office that talks about resources across the board in Clermont County as well. We also have a one-pager for helps for seniors as well on there that's going to be, and then the frequently asked questions is going to be uploaded. So we're very grateful to you, Ms. Miller, for helping us get the word out. The same information is going to be uploaded in regards to our website for public assistance. The other thing is was spoken so eloquently earlier is check with the local food pantries. Our one pager is going to have the various food pantries for families on that list. But the reality is that the local food pantries are going to see a huge increase in regards to the strain on their resources. So they're going to need our help as well. And it's good that we have these local food pantries because it makes it a place where people can go to. But we have to also be there to help them in helping replenish their resources as well. So this is just the link to the Clermont County, Ohio website and the different tabs that are going to be available. Thanks to Miss Miller. And then also I've put up there our Clermont County Public Assistance website. And then also, we're doing a local within our department food drive as well to be able to donate through complete volunteer on our own in ours. But obviously, these are the things that we're trying to be proactive about, because as you see, the sheer number of individuals that's going to be impacted by this, and we need to be proactive as a community to work to not only spread the information, but also provide access to these different resources that they have. Do you have any questions for our team?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
If anyone has any food resources and they need to get them, where do they bring them here in the county?
So if the commissioners are willing to allow Department of Job and Family Services to do that, and I'll have any of you speak to this if you would like to, we have the space, we have the volunteer within our building. Paige has created a logistics to be able to organize that. And Daphne, we can organize that. We can have the space. So if they would like to, if they want to take to their local food pantries, we encourage that. We want that. But if they need a centralized area, an additional place where they know that they can get to, we're happy to offer our building as a drop-off point if the commissioners are okay with that. And then we will then handle the logistics and the volunteers from our building to then make sure that it gets distributed to where it needs to go as far as across the community. And that's for all families that are in need.
We already started a box.
That's great. Yes, and we appreciate that. That's all Paige. She's transporting the boxes everywhere, and
Great.
we're happy to do that.
We know Paige.
Yes. We're very good. We're very grateful to have this team, and they're, and it's not just about, oh, this is part of my job. This is not just part of their job. They really want to be part of this community and want to help families from all walks in our community. So we're happy to handle the logistics of that if the commissioners are fine with us using our county building that belongs to you as a drop-off point, and then we can handle the logistics.
It'd be wonderful.
That'd be great.
It'd be great.
Paige, do you want to say anything in regards to the logistics of that, or we'll just put it up on the website? It's up to you.
So just so everybody's clear,
Sorry.
you're fine. We're located out on Bower Road at 2400 Clermont Center Drive. If you would like to bring donations there, my department, OMJ, will accept those donations, organize them, and kind of get them triaged so that some of those can go to local pantries. Some of them will stay in-house in case people come to us directly for food assistance, just to make sure that we're supporting our food pantry neighbors as well as people who might come to us, because we understand that sometimes if people have transportation barriers, they may not be able to get multiple places. So we want to have the resources in-house to serve as well. So that would be the ideal drop-off point.
One of the things that I read in the recommendations in following this is they're asking for like canned goods, which already has the flip top box in case somebody doesn't have an opener, and basically food that you can make like with water, like chicken noodle soup or something like that they're not going to have access to milk. So maybe powdered milk and that kind of, when you stop and think, if somebody's out there and they don't have all the utensils, even plastic knife, forks, and spoons would be helpful, and napkins.
Absolutely. Yes. Please, non-perishable food items, if at all possible, to get items with like the pull tab top instead of something that would need a can opener in case we have families who don't have access to a can opener. That would be ideal. And as Commissioner said, boxed milk, shelvable milk, things like that. Yes, ma'am.
Also,
I'm sorry.
Canned chicken and canned tuna.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because usually at our kids' food drives, they usually donate vegetables and soup and stuff nobody likes. So meat.
Yes.
Right.
That's good.
We're looking for nutritional things as well. So, it's not just go in your cabinet and say, oh, I haven't used that for 15 years. Let me, bring that. And I'm not saying that we won't take that as long as it's not expired. But, nutritional things is important. So.
Thank you.
I read that the food pantries prefer
cash because they can actually buy groceries cheaper than community people can? Is that true, or do you?
I don't think that we can comment in regards to that, and I know for a fact that we're not going to accept cash donations.
Okay, so you're strictly, okay.
Yes, please. We're just looking for,
Good.
yeah, we just want to be, the commissioners have asked us, we're happy to be a location for drop off. Do you have anything to add in regards to that? I don't mean to put you on a spot, but, if there's anything that you would like to add in regards to that? I mean,
Pam, come on up and tell them who you are and
Yes.
what you do.
So my name is Pam Haverkos. I'm the Clermont County Emergency Management Agency Director. And similar in this situation, it's kind of similar to what happens after a disaster. So we will have to work with the Department of Job and Family Services to articulate what we will accept and what we won't accept. And then those items that we can't accept, we will need to make sure that we are providing resources on where those items can be donated. Because I'm sure we have a lot of well-intentioned residents throughout the county who are willing to donate, but we may not be able to accept them here. And we just want to make sure that those resources can get to the appropriate social service agency, faith-based nonprofit partner who can utilize those resources. So, and one thing in particular, not accepting clothing, right?
No.
No clothing, no sleeping bags, no.
It's about food.
Food.
It's about,
So-
nutrition and food.
And then
Yes.
making sure that anybody that might want to donate other items, they can be directed to the appropriate entity.
And Pam, if anyone runs in and needs help, could you give them a couple of contacts to make here?
Yeah, so as was already mentioned, for individuals and families who have not ever entered into the social service network, so they've never asked for services before. My recommendation, and Dottie already kind of mentioned this, is reach out to 211. If you're not sure where to get services, start there. They can help you connect. They will help have a case manager there that can help those individuals identify what their true unmet needs are, and then help direct them to services so that they can connect into the system. If you have an existing case manager, so if you're a senior and you're already working with senior services, talk to your case manager to help identify those resources. But 211 would be for those individuals and families who just don't have an existing contact. If you're already working with Department of Job and Family Services, continue to work with your case manager through Job and Family Services.
Thank you.
Did that?
Thank you.
Yes, no, it's about collaboration.
You
It's
bet.
about making sure that we're working together. We have fantastic resources in this county, and we are willing to partner and do whatever we need to do, and use the experts when we have them. So.
My name is Sylvia Reeves, and I'm a brand new, almost by the watch resident of Clermont County.
Welcome.
Thank
That's
you.
great.
So I'm learning a lot about my new county, and as a recent retiree, I'm looking for places and ways to plug in with my previous skill sets. First of all, thank you for your great presentation. I learned a lot about the county and social services opportunities from that. The two questions I have are the following. You mentioned your administrative funding is not in jeopardy or peril just yet. Where does that funding come from?
That's also through the federal government. There's different types of funding. We have administrative funding, and then we also have benefit funding. The benefit funding is what they have run out of, and that is not what's going to be added to the cards then in November.
Our administrative funding is from the USDA.
Yes.
And the treasurer.
Tim, he's my fiscal guy.
Okay.
Indirectly it is.
Indirectly.
The federal government gives it to the state, and the state distributes it.
Correct.
To the 88
Right.
counties in Ohio.
In Ohio. Got it. And my second question is also referring to one of your slides, which addressed the economic ripple effects in the county. Is there going to be a way to continue to track that impact as we get deeper into the shutdown so that we can continue to make the rest of the county, the rest of the state, the rest of the nation aware with a dollar sign how much it's costing?
I don't know. That is a good question. I think we might have to talk to economic development. We might have to talk to emergency services to see how we can track that. Go ahead, Kate.
We'll be able to see how many benefits. So let's, God forbid it lasts all of November. We'll be able to see how many benefits, because we're still processing applications. If somebody applies on November 1st and they're eligible for $298. Every county in Ohio is still going to approve those benefits because the USDA has told us the benefits are being held, but is when the government opens back up, those benefits will be released. So if we approve you for $298, we'll be able to run a report and see how much money we should have given out in November. And it'll probably be around that $2.7 million unless we get more applications because maybe more people want to apply now. But the day, we just don't know when the government is going to reopen, what day those benefits will be issued. So we're approving them. We're going to be doing recertifications for our November, our people whose recertifications are in November. And we're going to tell them we've approved it. You're going to get an approval notice, but the day that it'll be issued, we're unsure.
I guess my question is leaning more toward exterior to your agency and maybe a commission question in terms of tracking the economic impact to the community, i.e. is there a Chamber of Commerce?
There is.
Yeah, there
is. Sure.
And even larger, the Department of Agriculture will be tracking because you bet all these, because you bet all of these entities out there, the big grocery stores, when things start going down, are going to be screaming. You know,
Just as a resident, I think that is incredibly important just to have.
just to
that
be able to
number.
see. I'm sure it'll be there.
Thank you very much. And Pam, I'm a former emergency manager, so I will be talking.
Yeah. Can always use some help, right?
Yeah, sure can.
You bet.
Will be usable even into November.
Yes.
So that is until the funds run out, even
Whatever's on the card.
Okay.
Yeah,
Runs
so
out.
if you have $2,000 on your card, maybe you just don't use it all. That money is yours. Even if you're not eligible for SNAP in the future, or you call and say, I don't want to be on the SNAP program right now, whatever we've already issued, you have access to. So we have been encouraging, even for the future when the government comes back up, maybe set aside $10 a month, because in a year that's $120. If you can, I know not everybody can do that, but the money that's on people's cards that we issued in October, September, if they haven't used it, they can use it until it's gone. Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
all for
Donnie.
taking the
Thank
time
you all
today.
so
Thanks for
much.
being here.
Good seeing you.
We appreciate it.
See you.
You bet.
Thank you.
Sorry, I have a couple other comments. So there are other agencies and other programs out there for assistance. So if anyone is suffering from any type of mental health or anxiety from this situation, don't forget that we have a very strong Clermont County Mental Health and Recovery Board, and they have a hotline. So if someone needs to reach out to someone to talk to them, it's 513-528-SAVE. I forget what the national hotline is. What do you guys remember the 3-digit? 988. So again, if you call 988, which is the national hotline, that's going to route to local people to be able to help individuals and residents that might be experiencing some kind of mental health crisis, as well as one of the other programs that could potentially be affected. It's not currently affected, but be the Women and Infant and Children WIC funds.
WIC.
Those are administered through public health. So if you have questions on your WIC benefits, please reach out to Clermont County Public Health. But I think we are starting to figure out how we can work collaboratively to support each other, because we're all in this same kind of unknown status of, especially if our agencies are federally funded in some form or fashion. So we are working collaboratively to make sure that we can provide those essential services to the residents. So thank you for your time. Thanks for letting
Thank
me
you
come
all
up
for your
and
Oh,
talk.
you bet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
So we will go back to letter F, to the consent agenda. Board, you've had the consent agenda, had it in advance and an opportunity to review it. Are there any items that need to be removed from the consent agenda for further discussion or?
No.
None? All right, then I would ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
It's been moved and second. Roll call.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes. We will move now to G, which is the non-consent agenda. Non-consent agenda starts on page 5. Starts on page 5 with item number 12. A recommendation, the Board of County Commissioners adopt Resolution 166-25 to approve payment to vendors in the amount of $3,839,046.06 as outlined in the BCC approval invoice reports for the checks dated October 29, 2025, BCC directed prepaid invoice reports, and the procurement card transaction report as presented by the county auditor on 10/27/25, and further authorizing the county auditor to issue warrants pursuant to and in compliance with Section 319.16 of the Ohio Revised Code. Do I have a motion to pay the bills?
Second.
Been moved and second. Roll call, Gail.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes. Item number 13. Gail Frolic.
This is a recommendation to approve the application of the Young Women's Christian Association of Greater Cincinnati, located in Cincinnati, Ohio. This application was received on September 30th, 2025, for the release of funds to be collected as fees for the issuance of marriage licenses, annulment, divorce, or dissolution of marriage pursuant to sections 3113.34 and 2303.201D of the Ohio Revised Code, all for the operation of the House of Peace, a shelter for victims of domestic violence for the period of January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025, with funds estimated in the amount of $37,839.20 collected in calendar year 2024 pursuant to and in compliance with Section 3113.35B of the Ohio Revised Code.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 13. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Been moved and second. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Gail.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor. Commissioner Painter.
Yes, those funds are approved. Item number 14, water resources. Chris Rowland, how are you, Chris?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Good.
Good morning, Commissioners.
morning.
Chris Rowland, Water Resources. Item number 14 is a recommendation to accept the following grant of permanent water easement with the rights of reentry for repair, replacement, and granted and conveyed to Clermont County by the grantor as outlined below for utility purposes for the project 6104-60234 for the Chapel Road Water Main Replacement Project in Batavia Township, and authorize the county auditor to remit payment as compensation for the permanent easement and right-of-way granted. The grantor is Jonathan and Melissa Racine of 97 Chapel Road, and the total compensations are for $506.06. And this is the second of the two easements that we need for the project to move forward.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 14. Do I have a motion for approval?
Make the motion.
I have a second.
Been moved and second. Any further conversation? Roll call, Gail.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran. Commissioner Painter.
Yes, item number 15.
Item 15 is a recommendation to award the bid and execute the contract for the project number 6401-60241 for the old State Route 32 water main replacement project located in Batavia and Williamsburg Townships pursuant to the plans and specifications of the CG Construction and Utilities Inc. of Williamsburg, Ohio, for their lowest and best their bid received on 9/11/25 at the item prices as outlined in the bid for a total not to exceed of $1,253,100 in compliance with the terms and conditions of the contract and contingent upon a release of the required purchase order. This is water main to help support our service area east of the BMW plant.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 15. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
Been moved and second. Roll call.
Commissioner Corcoran,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor,
Yes.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes. Thanks, Chris. You bet. Item number 16. Morning, Emma.
Morning, Board. Emily Akers, Office Management Budget. I have a recommendation to resolve to approve and authorize changes in the annual appropriation resolution number 151-24 for calendar year 2025. This is 3 supplemental appropriations. The first one is Common Police Court Other Expenses, the general fund for $100,000. And this is a capital case that happened. The appointed councils, the bills are coming through for it, which so we will be reimbursed the appointed council rate on that. The next one is the BCC Public Information Fringe Benefits for $7,500 and CDBG Entitlement Program Fringe Benefits for $5,600. And those are due to some health insurance plans that changed.
Board, you heard the reading of item number 16. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
Been moved and second. Any further conversation? Roll call, Gail.
Commissioner Batchelor,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran,
Yes.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes. That concludes our non-consent agenda. H is additions to the agenda. I understand we do have one addition. Is that correct?
Do have, and we have Michael Flores and Major Borger here.
So, Board, we have a need to add an agenda item. So it'll be a recommendation assigning the authority of Clermont County Sheriff's Office to serve as a designee in a memorandum of agreement with the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency. So I'd like to add that to agenda. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion, Ian. I'll second.
It's been moved and second. Roll call, Gail.
Commissioner Corcoran,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor,
Yes.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes, the item's been added to the agenda. Major Burke?
Major BJ Berger, Clermont County Sheriff's Office. This is a recommendation for the Board of County Commissioners, Clermont County, Ohio, to adopt Resolution 167-25, assigning authority to the Clermont County Sheriff's Office to serve as the designee of the Board of Commissioners of Clermont County, Ohio, for entering into a memorandum of agreement with the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, a part of the Department of Homeland Security, for training and assistance in the enforcement of the Immigration and Nationality Act under the 287G Task Force model, and for David L. Painter, President of the Board of County Commissioners, to execute the said resolution confirming such designation.
Thanks, sir. You've heard the reading of the resolution. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
It's been moved and second. Any further conversation or discussion, Board?
None.
Roll call.
Commissioner Batchelor,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran, Commissioner Painter.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other additions to the agenda?
No, Commissioner.
Okay. Then we will move to I. Are there any staff or elected official discussions? We had a pretty robust one today. That was kind of nice. Thanks for the participation there. Anyone else needs to address the board? Hearing none, I will move to letter J as member comments. Board members, any comments about today's meeting?
Just a wonderful thank you to our entire staff at Job and Family Services, who really, really worked very, very hard in our emergency management assistance program. They're always there to help. They started asking for food donations right when things started getting out in the media, and already they produced boxes and had the food pantry have us ready to go. So here's to all the hard work they do on the side that people really never see in the hours that they put in, and we appreciate all of you. Thank you.
People who need these benefits, obviously, when it comes to that, their voices are heard in Columbus. There's no doubt about that. If you've been watching the news and the situation take hold up there, obviously some of our state elected officials are, either entering into a suit and or threatening a suit, to ensure that people get the benefits that they need. Other states are looking at using some of their rainy day fund. The only trouble with the rainy day fund is that legislation has to act to do that, even within the state of Ohio. So, I would encourage everyone that's impacted by SNAP benefits to call their legislatures, at the state's office, and to call your United States representatives, your congressman and your senator, to make sure that they reopen the government so that these costs can be taken care of. So thank you. Thanks for coming today. Board, any other comments? Go ahead.
I have started coming here specifically, and I think other people do too. Our state representatives and our federal representatives do not respond to us, for one. For two, I recognize that as the president of the County Commissioners Association of Ohio, you are in a unique position to use the power of all of the county commissioners across the state to try to move the needle. And you also have your relationships with our state and federal representatives, and you can help serve the residents of the county by trying to push the needle, because the logjam that is happening right now in Washington, this is not the first time. It always happens because they refuse to talk to each other and compromise. And somebody has to be the big person in the room. And I would encourage you to try to very much encourage Congressman Taylor, Senator Husted, Senator Moreno, instead of playing partisan politics, to start working to break the logjam and negotiate. Because that's what needs to happen across the board to fix these problems, because they've been going on for decades.
Your concern is loud and clear. I can tell you that the County Commissioners Association and the 234 commissioners that are associated with that are right on top of it. No question. Our advocacy group is on it every day, and that is exactly what they're doing. All counties in Ohio, all 88 are impacted by this. And so the County Commissioners Association of Ohio, we react to that, and we have reacted, and we will continue to do so. Okay.
I'm ashamed of you for approving the 287G. These are our neighbors.
Your point was well taken.
Unfortunately, it doesn't matter. Shameful.
Since before I close the meeting, I will address that. Keep in mind that Clermont County, the Sheriff's Department, is an elected official in this county. The sheriff's main concern, and he has one focus and one focus only, and that is for the safety of this county. I can tell you that he has looked at that situation, and that those who have been detained or have been involved with serious crime here in Clermont County that none of us want in our own homes. So therefore, we will enforce the law. We will back the sheriff in every endeavor that he can to make Clermont County a safer place to live, work, and raise a family, so that all of you get that opportunity. And that's my only comment. No more comment. No, seriously. Jen, you're disrupting a meeting. You're disrupting a meeting. Okay. We can talk after this. We're at the point where we're going to close this meeting. Do you have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion. I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and second. Roll call.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes. Now, Jen, if you would like to have a conversation